I wonder, like, do you have any kind of advice onto how to manage expectations and establishing this new norm?
I think, I mean, like you said, I think that for some people, there feels like an awful lot of pressure,
Mm.
in terms of, if you are, if you are, are a family, and you are a working parent and you are trying to work from home, and yet you've got kids that are also supposedly needing to be homeschooled, and equally you still have a house to run. There are still things that need doing in the house, and I think what's really important is to acknowledge actually what can you do, other than trying to fit in to be the do all what you did before and everything else. I guess it's acknowledging, what's realistic. What is realistic for me? The school have sent home 10 different things for us to do today. Is that realistic? And it's all very well, that might be what they achieve in the classroom, but actually you're not a qualified teacher, and you don't have, you maybe have other siblings in the house, or you have other things in the house that kind of take your demands or are demanding of your time. And I think sometimes what's really important is actually this is hard for everybody, and it's new for everybody. And I think what's really important is actually there's a little part of you that I think has to be selfish. We all have to survive this in any way that we can, in that extent, in terms of looking after ourselves, whether that's physically, mentally. And so I think, if you can fit in 2 hours of homeschooling, then brilliant. Do those 2 hours of homeschooling, and then, almost have a structure to your day that feels manageable, as opposed to trying to be everything for your work, your kids, your family, yourself, I guess, in terms of, learning new things. My reality is I'm at home with kids. I'm still trying to work, and I'm trying to homeschool. And I have a child that's not at school yet. So trying to homeschool and manage a child who's, not yet as, it's hard, it's difficult. So I guess over time we've adapted our working day, so to speak, to fit in with our routine. And I think it's about almost being really, I won't say the word selfish, but thinking about your family unit. If you are part of a family, what is going to work for you? And what might work for you might not work for your friend down the road. And I think it's important not to compare ourselves with what everybody else is doing. I think do what feels right for you, and do what works for you, because this isn't normal.
No. And I think sometimes just you need to give yourself permission to go, you know what, I need to just take care of myself a little bit now. And that often feels selfish to people. But it's that notion of if we don't take care of ourselves, we can't take care of other people in our life. And I think that's especially so now. Now, if we're not looking after ourselves, it's harder to look after our kids. And it's important. And at a time where we probably lack resources that we would normally have, when people don't have the family and friends that they can turn to at the moment. Sometimes their children aren't necessarily going to school or nurseries. So all of those resources that can just help us have that time to ourselves to recharge our batteries aren't there for us, and we're kind of it's a bit more intense, I think, for people.